To you, Kentuckiana, it is 6 a.m. on your Monday. I'm Jim Stratman. Grace has the day off, so it's myself and meteorologist Matt Breland in studio with you today as we take a look at a dry way to start off the week. Matt, I mean, the dry and hot weather continues, really.
It really does. Yeah, we're back in that warm, sunny, dry pattern that's going to be lasting throughout the next several days. You'll notice on satellite and radar, we continue to start off this morning with a lot of sunshine and quiet conditions, clear skies, and we're going to remain in that pattern throughout the morning time. You'll notice that we're staying fairly dry all throughout Kentuckiana. As we continue going throughout the next upcoming hours, we will see these temperatures make their way into those warmer ranges. At the moment, we're at the lower 60s near Lebanon and Campbellsville, 63 in Madison, 62 Scottsburg, 63 Shepherdsville, and 63 for you folks near Elizabethtown. Here's a live look across downtown. This is courtesy of the Shriners Children's Hospital in Lexington. As of right now, a beautiful start to our morning. We're just waiting on that sunrise to happen with temperatures in the upper 60s, the mid 60s near Bowman Field, and the clear skies continuing. Hopping on the bus here in the next few hours, you can expect those clear skies to continue with temperatures in the mid 60s, and we warm up quickly. Later this afternoon, headed home, those temperatures will be ranging into the upper 80s, close to the lower 90s. A moderate drought still being tracked for our southernmost counties near Bardstown and Elizabethtown and Campbellsville, in the Louisville Metro and in southern Indiana, and for our counties bordering the Ohio River, we're in what's called abnormally dry. I'm expecting this drought to escalate as we head throughout the remainder of this week, since we're still going to be remaining in a fairly dry trend. We'll have all the details about your weekend forecast coming up in a few short minutes. Here's an update on traffic. As of right now, everything's looking good to go on all of our major interstates into and out of the Louisville Metro. If we have anything holding us up, we will let you know. Jim?
Matt, thank you very much. Now we turn to a violent weekend in Louisville. You're taking a live look right now at the LMPD headquarters. Busy spot over the weekend. In the last 24 hours, 3 people have died, all in 3 separate incidents. We'll start with the latest incident. A body found near the Shawnee boat ramp. LMPD says around 3:30 yesterday afternoon, they were called to the Shawnee Park Drive after someone found a person down in the woods. That woman, officials say, was in her 30s and had multiple gunshot wounds. She was declared dead at the scene. Earlier in the day, officers found a man shot dead inside of a car in the Phoenix Hill neighborhood. The LMPD says the man was found behind a building in the 700 block of East Muhammad Ali Boulevard just before 11 a.m. near the intersection with South Clay Street. The LMPD homicide unit is investigating that case. And then just before 7 a.m., police say they found a woman stabbed to death in a Valley Station home. Police say they found a Hispanic woman with multiple stab wounds inside that house along Autumn Way. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The LMPD is asking anyone with information on these cases to call the anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD. And this weekend is just the latest in a string of violent behavior that we've seen here in Louisville. Many of those violent acts committed by teenagers. As the city looks for answers to the violence, Metro Council members from across the aisle have agreed that Louisville's Juvenile Detention Center needs to reopen as soon as possible. WHAS11's Clarice Shaley explains why council members believe this could be a solution for this teen violence issue.
Louisville has a problem, and nobody seems to be wanting to take it serious, and that is juvenile crime.
Metro Council member Kevin Bratcher is spearheading a motion.
We need a detention center here in Louisville, and we need it yesterday.
Urging Governor Andy Beshear and the Kentucky Department of Juvenile Justice to expedite the reopening of the Juvenile Detention Center in Louisville, which Bratcher sees as a solution to a teen violence issue. The facility closed in 2019 and is supposed to open in 2027. The director of the Office of Violence Prevention told us earlier this month that violent crime is down, but kids committing crimes isn't lowering like other demographics.
And we need a place where we can set them down, have the clergy come talk to them, have the family come talk to them, have counselors here in Louisville come talk to them, and try to turn their life around before they turn 18 years old.
There's backing from Councilmember Tammy Hawkins, standing in her district's Algonquin Park, where there were teen violence instances at the beginning of the summer.
I think it sets an example.
And there's support outside of the council, too.
Definitely that's an avenue that needs to be taken by the city.
Will Pitts has worked in the community for years to prevent youth violence.
You need the detention center for the ones that just can't quite get their act together, if you know what I mean. You got to have a place to have some, you got to have that structure, as we call it, in place.
For WHAS 11, I'm Clarice Shaley on your side.
Councilman Bratcher says right now kids are sent to detention centers in Adair and Warren counties, but he believes that they're being released from those facilities far too early, claiming that some are released day of. He also criticized the state law limiting a juvenile's stay in detention centers. Well, the funeral arrangements for longtime Jefferson County Clerk Bobby Holsclaw are set. Visitations will be held from 1 to 8 p.m. out on Monday, September 22nd at the Arch L. Hetty and Son at Westport Village. There will be Mass at Holy Spirit Catholic Church on Tuesday, September 23rd at 10 o'clock in the morning. Holsclaw passed away last Wednesday at the age of 81. She had served as the county clerk since 1999. Now, in lieu of flowers, memorial contributions can be given to the WHAS Crusade for Children. For more information, you can visit our homepage at WHAS11.com. And a scary moment last night during the Racing Louisville game out in Seattle when Savannah DeMillo collapsed on the field. Now, we're not going to show you the entire incident because those images are a bit too graphic. But you can see right here DeMillo down on the turf out in Seattle before she passed out. Her fellow teammates over there trying to talk to her. Trainers then rush out to be by her side. And players visibly shaken, players on both teams really affected by this incident. Now, DeMillo was stable and alert after the incident. She was transported to a local hospital for further evaluation. DeMillo does have an autoimmune condition that leads to symptoms like chest tightness, dizziness, and rapid heart rate. She also left a match earlier this season due to chest pain and nausea. Now, officials have suspended that match. It will be made up at a later date. Tonight, you can voice your opinion on the grand redesign of the Belvedere down at the Public Forum at Shawnee Library. The meeting will go over the design and the timeline for the project. Now, 9 months ago, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg announced the decades-old Belvedere in Louisville would be getting a makeover. The new look would have been very grand in scope, as you can see from some of these images right now, but during the public listening session last week, project executive Layla George presented a scaled-down rendering of the new plan. She cited concerns around the use of public funds as one of the reasons behind the decision to downsize. That meeting begins at 6 o'clock tonight. Well, today, paving operations will begin on State Road 160 in southern Indiana. The construction will be in the Clark and Washington counties area between Jackson Street and South Hickory Grove Road, as well as between Casey Road and Forestry Road. Construction will last from Monday to Friday from 7 in the morning to 5 in the evening. State Road 160 is going to be reduced to one lane during those hours. The Indiana Department of Transportation says the project will be completed in mid-November. INDOT says that drivers should slow down and avoid distractions when they're traveling through work zones. Matt, let's head over to you with a look at another hot forecast today.
That's right, Jen. Another round of those warmer temperatures with highs expected to reach the lower 90s for most of us today. We'll have a few small passing clouds in our skies periodically that will bring in some occasional shade, but otherwise it is going to be a hot afternoon. All the details about that forecast coming up in a few short minutes.
Thank you very much, Matt.